Just answering questions with waptek. Let's see if I can get this done quickly. I always say that, it never comes out. So here we go. I'm glad I found you. Where were you? I've been following the other channel recently. I wonder if he's genuine. Now, I'm going to point out something. Someone said, yeah, it looks like the unnamed channel spent an hour talking about you, saying he's not going to talk about you. Maybe. When I checked it, it was actually about some other thing. I don't even know what it is, but if somebody puts up a live stream and can keep people's attention for 2 hours, I don't think it's about me. I didn't check the view count, but I'd like to thank the people who gave me an indication of this. I did a video where I wasn't really talking about someone's channel. I was talking about an assertion and what its origin story was. And it was because of someone, well, we'll be getting to that probably here. But anyway, here we go. Then I get these questions from this individual who, yeah. When will we stop polluting Mother Earth? Now, I don't refer to it that way. This is a mud ball in space, because that's how we're treating it. We won't. We cover a very thin layer on this planet. You know, like that little layer on the pond that ruins it. Yeah, that layer, you know. But hey, it's rainbow colored if you get the light at the right angle. I don't know when we will. We've been doing it for millennia. Many millennia. But now there's enough of us, and because of the very specific way we do it, it's damaging the earth. But I have to point out something. If we go back to the old ways, back in the before time, where we were basically shepherds, hunter-gatherers, whatever, or subsistence farmers, we can't actually do that. The labor and land-intensive ways of doing things in the past were not as good as what we're doing now. And people don't want to hear that, but no, really. Pound for pound, number of people fed, this is the way we're stuck. Hydroponic gardening is the most extreme version of this, where you eliminate the use of soil and just use a nutrient bath mixed with whatever. It also makes it much more sketchy, because the dirt 2 feet away from me has competing biology going on with different bacteria and whatever, and it tends to keep itself pretty regulated, the way we've adapted to this planet for a long time. And when we dink with it, we tend to make things really bad. See the astronaut Mars thing, potatoes. Just look it up. Matt Damon. Anyway, let's go on. But we're not going to stop polluting Mother Earth. We can only stop polluting it really badly. That's a whole series of videos. Some of the stuff we do has nearly permanent effects. Other things isn't any worse or better than it was in the past, but it's more efficient at producing what we want and need. Here's one thing we need to do. Stop being a throwaway consumer society and make it something else. If we recycle everything, a reuse society, we're better off. But when you say that, that means anybody who's trying to get rich quick, like real estate brokers, they don't. Let's continue. This is an opinion piece. Sorry if you don't like it. When will we use our humanity for good only? Humanity has never been only good, and one person's idea of good is another person's bad. It is actually relativistic in many ways. But there are some things we can all agree on. The end result. What do we all want? Most of us. I can't really answer for that. Why can't we have free energy and stop drilling oil and stop all the pollution and recycle more? The first part is we can't have free energy. It is actually something that's been determined by hardcore experiments. Unless you're willing to manipulate on a quantum level reality, not matter, you're not going to get 0-point energy. 0-point energy, if anybody's curious about it, when you think of the lowest state something can get to where it's literally absolute zero and there's no energy state, it isn't. There's a small bias. And there's also a small fluttering bias that sometimes is bigger than the lowest level. You get this weird thing that happens in time, space, or reality, or fabric of the universe, or whatever, but you can't really exploit it. It's incredibly, I mean, you're already at very low power. You can't really exploit it. Sometimes called vacuum energy and all sorts of things. The point is, we do not have a free lunch capability for free energy. We can make things more efficient. We aren't going to stop drilling oil. I'm sorry, but that's a pipe dream. And people are going to keep fracking until we literally run out. It won't be peak oil. We're literally going to run out. It is not a perpetual source. As for stopping pollution and recycle more, you have to do both. And you have to design things for recycling. We used to do that. Glass jars and even plastics can be recycled in some cases. We just don't do it because everybody screams, you're a libtard, if you just want to make it to where we don't make as much garbage. I mean, literally cleaning up litter in an area, people will drive by, throw a beer can at you and say, take that, libtard. It becomes a political statement, not to fix a problem. That's what it's turned into. And you get it also from liberals who complain that you're enabling something. Everybody finds an excuse not to do the right thing. Political bias doesn't matter anywhere. In my opinion and in my personal experience, where I'm at and what I see, it seems like mostly conservatives doing this counterproductive stuff, but I don't know if that's true. And some people have actually said, you're just being apologetic towards them. No, I just don't know everything. I don't assume that I know everything. Next. We have the technology and ability, correct? We do. But we're dumb humans. A couple of hundred years ago, some populations didn't know where babies came from. We are still intellectually kind of stupid. If everybody stopped learning for just 10 years, we would be back in the Dark Ages rapidly. In fact, we're headed towards them through willful ignorance. It's the greatest threat we have against our world. It's not a technocracy. We don't have a technological universe here. We have a bunch of people longing for a time that was much worse because they don't like the fact that they can't be right all the time now on the internet in a comment section. Does this come down to greed and the psychotic 1% with evil entities who want to destroy us? Yes. Okay, next. I'm sorry. Yeah. Everybody argues about what 1% it is. I don't know why. It's just that 1%. But anyway, there's variations on it, I guess. Next, do you have any information on what lies under Antarctica? A continent, a lot of unexploited resources, and because of its previous position on the planet, your best bet for finding a hidden civilization buried under something. I'm not even joking. It's virtually an unexplored continent because it's under miles of ice. And we just found out that there's a sort of a saline lake under there somewhere. Next. I agree we need to stop our bad behavior. And yeah, if someone else agrees with me that they're just fed up. I'm tired of gore. Okay, I'm tired of lots of people. There's a guy on CNN I don't like because I'm tired of seeing his face and hearing his voice. It's getting annoying. He's not a bad person. I just don't like him. I just don't want him anymore. Can't stand gore. I can't either. I make fun of him a lot. When he's being reasonable, he's actually a pretty good guy. But I'm tired of hearing about him. I'm done. We can only prepare a better path to a more positive, loving, cleaner planet. I agree. But everybody out there that wants a quick buck or exploitation of it, or doesn't give a damn, because they lie about giving a damn, they get in the way. And it only takes a couple of people who are ridiculously rich to screw things up. It's the spraying they're doing, blocking the sun, weather control. It's always global warming or ice age. The elites are the danger. The scientists are not the elites, nor is NASA. Although one guy taking a joyride really makes that kind of hard to defend that position. I'm sorry. There are people out there who simply want to understand reality and have found out some scary stuff. And they're not your enemy, and they're scientists. Most of them are scientists. And they love catching each other out when they're lying. Because the only thing worse than a bad scientist is a lying one. The feds are totally capable of insert activity. They're not bumbling. They have been messing with perception for over 70 years. Yes, all federal governments, all of them. Especially tiny ones. Something had been modifying and controlling governments since before that. It's called religion. I don't care if you like hearing that, and religion is just really a really slightly unpolished mirror of ourselves as a species. Whether it's a group or entity, a group that acts on behalf of the entity, I can't tell personally. No comment. The Greek Roman civilization never collapsed. The masses, yes, but the Caesars and high-ranking officials just moved on. I want to argue with you, but honestly, in a colorful way, you're totally accurate. No, it's not greed or psychotic 1%. I'm starting to wonder if it's just psychotic. But anyway, can't tell if muhaha or ka-ching. Here we go. There was a YouTube video a while back, a year or more, that showed temps getting colder and colder over years. Yes. He debunked global warming. Ice may be melting in spots, but in other spots, just as such as there is more ice created. The total cyclic behavior of the North and South Pole, if you want to look at a specific place, including an entire continent, depending on where you're looking that year, you'll get what you want to find. If you look at all of the years and all of the locations, you don't get that answer. This is called cherry picking. I'm not gonna address it any further. No, someone didn't prove global cooling. More ice is being created. Near the volcano chain, it's melting because they're warming melting ice. Duh. Carbon monoxide, it is an all-time low as well. It's carbon dioxide, not monoxide. Carbon monoxide is a different gas. I don't know why he did that. By the way, the elites own everything and refuse to use the machine created 100 years ago because it will cause bankruptcy for them. Counterpoint. Computers and the internet were invented in spite of people wanting to monopolize it. Every time somebody squeezes down on a Linux distro, jackasses like me modify it. I'm one of many thousands of people who helped you modify Windows to the point that Microsoft Corporation had to finally decide that you don't have to use Internet Explorer and you don't have to use Microsoft Wallet to pay your bills. Say thank you. People like me are the fly in the ointment for these pigs. And that's the way it is. But no, it doesn't bankrupt them. In case you haven't looked at it, we're the media. And we, the geeks, created cryptocurrency, although I'm not really investing in it. We control this planet. They are, I'm sorry, but I'm going to say this, these elites and rich people and banksters and whatever you want to call them, they're not even an appendix anymore. They're like an extra earlobe you're going to trim off later. They're literally unnecessary for humanity. Us losing this almost technological singularity of being able to talk to each other without actually ever meeting in person is incredibly dangerous to them. They're trying to harness and exploit it, but the fact is they're running out of material to work with. They are scared to death. In case you haven't noticed it. And yes, there will be a different thing like YouTube eventually. It'll probably be BitChute at this point, but I don't know which one. I can't predict. I'm not very good at this. I actually did predict the modular computer systems we almost have right now. Give it a few years, I'll do a dissertation on that. But no, it's not the elites that own everything, it's the rich that own them. They're not elites. Stop calling them that. You're trying to avoid talking about rich people. Look up UFO vid channel. It's heart-stopping research, my friends. Stay cool. Stay frosty. Why do you try to come off as pretty damn smart when you're coming across as plain ass stupid? You have a degree in Jerk 101. If you're talking binary, I'm sorry, but I just got to do a joke. And guess what that comment was for? You can't, because it didn't address the subject of the video. That's intentional. Why do you read their lies on your channel? Because I'm responding to them. Their claims are unfounded and inaccurate. That's what I'm pointing out. They're just mad because you have more followers and make more money than they do. It's not about you, oh poster that's mysterious and I'm not naming. You're talking about my video. One would think that you would be smart enough to read and understand a paper yourself. I did. Everybody else ignored it. But that remains to be seen. No, it doesn't. The paper was from 2015. It was kiboshed by everybody else who read it because the person fixed the results, ignored data, and it wasn't reproducible with other data. It only worked for a specific time span and only partially. But hey, here's a link to such and such's paper. Maybe you can read it and explain it to your idiot friend. And then he posts a link to a YouTube video, which is in no way, shape, or form a paper. I was asking for a link to the peer-reviewed paper, not some YouTube video with the comment section blocked. Thanks, Weeble. Thanks for watching. Have a good day. Good luck with that. Warble garble. Bye.